Hey everyone, GM coming to you way late. Apologize. A little bit of stuff going on the timeline, whatnot, but we're here for FOMC meeting day. Let me make sure, see how the audio. There's a little bit of stuff going on the timeline, whatnot, but yeah, hopefully the audio's okay. Coachmaster GM. Sorry about the late start. Listening on some other spaces, doing some stuff. Hopefully my audio is good today. Let me put a little GM in the chat. Look, it's cool because it's some news out today, but I mean, a lot of what is out there is just FOMC. Hopefully my computer works. I don't think I shut it down enough. I've got to start shutting stuff down longer, I think, letting it cool off a little more. But anyway, 64,364. Bitcoin's up 2.2%. On these FOMC meetings, we know it's just a lot of it is just, I'm going to lose my little picture-in-picture there too, because I think my lighting's horrible today. Kind of an overcast day, and lighting's bad down here anyway, and I don't know if that adds extra stress. The restream, I think, is one of the things that I think he uses quite a bit of compute because it's sending to so many different things. Oh, good. Audio sounds okay. Good. Thank you for the input there. Look, let's jump over to the TradFi. Trump did come out with some statements, shook the market just a few minutes ago, a little bit, but and oil is up like 6%. What is it? Yeah, 84.25, up $5. And let's see here. Yeah, we'll look at what regular fine, but definitely Trump came out and shook the markets a little bit. Yeah, let's look at crude oil over here, 84.54. So it's up $5.28, 6.66%, 666. That's ominous. So, we don't really have to notice the news. We just really have to notice what's the oil price, right? Because sometimes you don't know what to believe. There's so much propaganda out there. But oil price going up is definitely shows a sign that things are not too stable over there. The NASDAQ down 0.03, the Dow down 0.82, and then the S&P up 0.7. Yeah, says right here, Dow leads retreat ahead of Fed decision. Wall Street stocks fall as return of U.S.-Iran hostilities send oil surging the way for Microsoft and Meta earnings. So we have earnings. Okay, we have earnings. We have this, escalation in war, at least in the rhetoric, enough to where oil's up 6.66%. So, yeah, we see that. Over on crypto, maybe not quite as bad as it was because just because of the fact that we've dropped so much yesterday, right? We're up Bitcoin where it is 64,460, up 2.3%. See, we were a little bit higher, but I think we just got beaten down. And like I say, sometimes I think this is just market makers and manipulators, honestly, just use an excuse to liquidate because there's so much leverage in crypto that they just use anything. So it was an overreaction yesterday to liquidate a bunch of positions, and now we're kind of back, right? We're actually up. So yeah, that's be careful that. Don't use leverage if you really don't know what you're doing. Ethereum 1907 up 1.9%. Hey, Mr. Heine, GM, good to see you. Yeah, a little late start today. Listening to some spaces, doing some stuff out there, trying to balance things. But yeah, not like I say, not a ton of news anyway. We know it's all about the FOMC come out at 2:00 today, and then we have some earnings later, and then of course Trump escalated a few things today. But good to see you out there. XRP 107 up 2.1%. Solana 73.61 up 1.2%. So we're in a situation where we just got too beat down. Like I said, I call it, I kind of thought yesterday was more of a leverage flush than anything. Market's down slightly. and we'll check back. Looking at cash, I've been looking at the Cash Cat and the Ansem back and forth to kind of judge that shift over to Robinhood. And look, Cash Cat 36.62 up 4.92%. Ansem 180 up 11.7. So both holding okay strong. Of course, our Bitcoin bull over here, if that'll refresh, still holding strong. Last I checked, around 89-ish. In a down market, maybe this, if we get a little bit of a upsurgent, we'll do a little better. A new token, almost 30 days old. Yeah, 39.1. It's down a little from where yesterday were. Look, when it got to 8, we had an $8 to $10.5 million. We were there stuck for a while. We were stuck at 18 to 20 for a while, and then we jumped right up into the around the 40 range really quickly. Consolidation, we'll probably going to continue to see that here. Try and push up through the next wave here. So that's just kind of how that game works. Diamond handing, talking, doing spaces. This is interesting. You know, you always see a $13.7 million whale bet heavily against crypto, 140 million in shorts, Bitcoin, Ethereum hype, shorting Solana, Link, Litecoin, Zeke. He's expecting the Feds to shock market. He's expecting a rate cut. And of course, you always see Barron Trump there because everyone, that just kind of meme to represent. Are they an insider? Are they just a degenerate gambler? We don't really know, but we're thinking about. I don't think we get a rate cut hike today. I don't think we get a rate cut either, but I think it's neutral, and then we'll see what's said, right? Warsh hasn't talked that much. His sentiment, hawkish, dovish. It's volatility today. Showing. It's interesting to me. There's a lot of hype around Ansem. We know that's kind of a VC backed. It's backed by Solana and stuff, which is good. We need runners, right? And then this kind of kicked it off. So I'd like to see it do good. We need to be ready, but we need to be ready. Korea, man, they had their circuit breaker shut them down 2 days in a row. It's never happened. They've never had back-to-back halts. So that market's not doing good. To give you a little glimpse of what's happened in the rest of the world, back-to-back circuit breaker. Market just shuts down, lets it cool off, you know. Bitwise CEO Matt Hogan says interest rate decisions will matter less to Bitcoin over the next 5 years than in the past 15, as future moves are expected to be smaller. Yeah, I agree with him, but right now, as we're still kind of classified as a risk-on asset, we need liquidity to really roll, right? We need that money printing. We need the liquidity coming back. So I agree with him, but it's still going to be still important, right, for us to really rip. But yeah, I agree. Probably less important moving forward than back. Fed interest rate today, 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. is when we get the interest rate and then probably get the speech afterwards. So both equally as important. His tone, yeah, just lock in for volatility. And also don't forget, like what we saw yesterday with crypto, very easy for people to use these as a way to manipulate, right? Flush leverage, up or down. Nothing's safe. President Trump said the U.S. will hit Iran hard after an attack on American forces in Jordan. We'll beat the effing shit out of them, I guess what he's saying. Obviously, that's why we see this oil up 6.66%. Let's see if that number's the same. Still the same, man. Ominous. But yeah, basically we had 3 or 4 days of kind of no bombing, and then now this. So, but they couldn't help but poke the bear. And, we recently had 4 service members killed too. So that's still there. Trump's trying to negotiate, but not good. So that definitely spooked the markets. So we'll see what happens. It is what it is. I thought this from Kelly. No one is talking about pump. They're buying back 500K a day of their coin, revenue increasing day by day, 700 million market cap, just flip hype and daily revenues. Seems so undervalued compared to stocks. I don't care if it's a shitcoin casino, it prints money. So, yeah, keep an eye on Pump. Definitely doing well. I don't know, I've been in and out a few times. I don't know any right now. You're not really looking to. This is great. Now, you probably heard this, really applicable today as well as any. 16 years ago, Satoshi Nakamoto shut down a Bitcoin scalability debate with one line. If you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you. Sorry. So applicable today, right? As you try to explain crypto and Bitcoin and your thesis to people. Crazy. It's been 16 years ago. Circle minted another 250 million USDC on Solana. Usually shows money coming in, new money coming into the market. Moonshot AI, they surpassed their funding goal, and now they have a stunning $35 billion valuation. And the SEC and CFTC are building a backup plan for crypto rules. The U.S., if the Clarity Act stalls or fails, the U.S. regulators are advancing Project Crypto, a joint effort to define crypto assets and create clear rules for staking, stablecoin, custody, fundraising, and on-chain trading. That's great. They should have a plan B, but these regulations, even laws created by these bureaucracy and in these different situations, it's not as good as legislation because the next, it's like executive orders. Day one, those all get canceled, right? So by the next administration. So they're good. I think with the CFTC and the SEC, it does establish some basis for law and things like that, but nothing as good as legislation. So no word really today. We're less than 50% chance of it passing, but no word. But it really was big because that may not ever be able to be changed once it's solidified, goes through the process. So, but yeah, they got to get it done in the first place. So that's that. Nothing's really getting done. Less and less stuff gets done every year as we move on. The government becomes more divided and less willing to do things, less able to do things. So that with the Clarity Act, that's great. That's good news. And these guys are definitely friendly, but we don't know what the next administration will bring. You could have someone like a Gary Gensler in and be very negative and crushing everybody. Plus, we're going to lose our edge with the rest of the world. So we need law, not just that. But it's great. Good news with that. Let's just take one more look at the market. Sorry for my late start today. Do join me over on GM Bitcoin Morning Show. Coming up, we'll talk some more. Sorry, it's kind of a slow website here. Yeah, the oil is a little concerning to me. Yeah, now it's even higher, 6.78%. That looks better to me than 666 out there. But yeah, oil spiking big. NASDAQ down 0.67, Dow down 1.3. So it's getting worse. Let's see how Bitcoin's holding up. That's Solana. We'll end with the Bitcoin snapshot here. And thanks for everyone joining me live on this kind of FOMC meeting, man. It's a wait and see day. See how Bitcoin day. Yeah, Bitcoin's holding up okay, right? 64, 369. Like I say, that I didn't take that drop too seriously. I think it was more of a leverage flush all the way down to 63,000 yesterday. That was crazy. But once again, it's why I like to trade in spot and hold. Those up and downs don't really affect you that much. But yeah, listen, I think, hard to say. See what happens with the rhetoric and the escalation in Iran. Earnings, too, that could affect things a little bit this week. But the FOMC meeting's big. We'll regroup tomorrow and see where the dust settles. hopefully we're here or better. Also, FOMC or Clarity Act news either way right now, not looking good. But with that, man, everyone have a great hump day. Chill out there, maybe touch some grass, hit the golf course, hit the lake, or just chill, hit the gym. But also, there's some opportunity and some meme coins there, and even with that, be cautious out there. And with that, man, thanks for joining me. Be back tomorrow to kind of recap what happens later today. But have a great Wednesday, everyone. If I can get this stream ended here, feel free to join me over. Doesn't want to. A little bit glitchy here. Like I said, I think it's the Restream software. I think it used a lot of things because I notice when it's on, it tends to things. It's not letting me end the stream. Here we go. No, yeah, it's still. Well, we'll sit here until we can end the stream. Might have to restart it. I don't know. Yeah, that's okay. End stream in.